Welcome to the Cornerstone Classic. As always, I am your host, Mr. Councilman, and I am joined by Mr. James, who is our analyst. He's walking down to the track to give you guys a track walk.
You ready? All right. This is our track walk. We're doing another one. As you all know, we're going to have drift tires for half of the race, half the laps. So, as always, watch out for the rigamajig coming through here. This drift track's a lot simpler than what we've seen. It's pretty wide as well. Big, sweeping turn one after the long front stretch. So that'll be pretty easy, hopefully. This is our main challenge. It's kind of a pit lane entrance right there, as it has been the last couple races. It's this long left-hand sweeper it's pretty wide as well, so you should be able to slide through here really well, but it'll be interesting to see how the guys handle that. And then you're straight down into this hard right-hand hairpin. You gather yourself up. It's going to be pretty fast down the straight. It's a little narrow, but it widens out to exit there on the right. Again, I got to check my directions. I'm walking backwards. Quick little left-hand kink right here. That we'll see how the drift tires handle that. The regular tires should be no trouble. And then you're into this pretty simple run-in-the-mill left-hander just to get you turned straight onto the ramp. Resurfaced in some parts, in other parts still the same. Shouldn't need a full resurfacing for a while, but that'll be interesting to see how the drift tires can get up that. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, but we'll see. And then finally, this hairpin chicane right here. It's a lot wider than we've seen in the Nolan's Berries, that hairpin chicane at the start. This one's a bit roomier, although it's still a little tight. With the drift tires, you're just going to be hanging off to your life through here. And then finally, a pretty simple, easy left-hander back on your front stretch. Again, pretty long front stretch. It's 113 feet, 9, maybe 8 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 turns. Yeah, should be a good challenge for drift tires and slicks.
I am here with Julian Miller, currently in P5 in the championship. He has had a roller coaster of a season. Tell me about your season.
Honestly, the season's starting off strong. I was a good front runner for a lot of the races, but as time was on, I think the car it slowly started dying on me. People started getting better, catching up. But now we've got a new car. As long as we can get a handle on things this race, I think we can get solid placement, bring back some points this time.
So you have consistently dropped down lower and lower each place, not trying to be rude. You were as high as P1 for qualifying, destroyed a heat, and honestly got 4th in a race, which, considering you had to take 2 pit stops, that's way better than anybody else could have done. And it's slowly been dripping. Like, what do you think you're going to do to change that, if you can?
I think I really just need to get a handle on this new car so I can start driving cleaner, not hitting as many things. Very important part of driving strategy. Don't hit the walls. And honestly, I need to take a day outside away from the race to test which of my batteries work.
Fair strategy. Are you looking forward to this race with a tire swap feature?
I still don't really know what that means, but I have a feeling once everyone's in drift tires, it's going to be really, really funny.
It's actually going to be a combination half drift, half race tires.
Ooh.
And you're going to have to swap your tires completely, inverted it, in the pit. And you have to take a mandatory pit stop on lap 30 to do that. Everybody does.
Everyone does. Okay. It's going to be really interesting, especially when it's like half the people have switched to their race tires and are zooming, but half the people are still in their drift tires.
It's going to be something for sure. Alrighty, Julian Miller. We are now starting practice. It seems that the cameras got rolling a little later than expected, with 2 out of 6 cars not down there at the moment. It seems that no matter what, they are still going to start on practice. Even though it is still behind, they're still going to go when they can and do what they can.
Yeah, there's only 4 cars in the formation, if you can even call it a formation. We are underway.
You know, this track is super, super simple, but it's given people a lot of challenges due to the type of race this is. This is a tire swap race where people are using both drift and race tires. So we are expecting to see a lot of different results, like Matthew Lucas on all drift tires, kind of Tokyo drifting it out there.
3 car in the pit lane already. Must be something up with him. But yeah, like you said, this is a tire swap race, so there's different combinations. Rules are is that at lap 30 you have to switch. So that's pretty much the only rule, is that you have to basically invert your tire combination. So there's a lot of experimenting that we'll probably see during this practice session. It'll be really interesting. Still, only 4 cars have started the practice.
We have not yet seen, who is it? Not Josh.
Dan DeSalle and Alex Anderson.
Yes, Dan DeSalle and Alex Anderson. Dan DeSalle is actually approaching the line to start his first lap. We actually have lap updates for practice, but it's only going to be fastest lap for now. It seems that both Julian and Graham are not going to improve. And as our analyst, what type of laps are we expecting for this simple of a track, but for this difficult of a challenge?
To be quite frank, difficult ones. You'll see a lot of sliding, a lot of kind of almost counter steer, a lot of understeer I think you'll see, and then the back end will step out. These cars are going to be all over the place, and I would expect these practice times that you're seeing on your screen right now to improve, but not a ton. I don't think we're going to get down into the high teens or mid teens like you would expect for this track. I think we'll probably see low 20s, mid 20s a lot. It's going to be a really tough experience for these guys, but whoever can handle the total lack of grip, to be honest, to varying extents, the lack of grip to varying extents is going to be the one that comes out on top today. So it'll be really interesting to see. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of experimenting in these practice sessions.
Yeah, I mean, these cars, you can really see a huge amount of wheel spin in these cars when if you just saw right there, Julian Miller and Graham DeSalle on the straight, crossing the line, putting their finger to the trigger to go, and they just spin, not because they were making any twitchy movements, but because of the wheel spin of their cars. And we are currently looking at about 30s. Cohen Bell going into the pits again, sitting a 2-minute lap due to his pit stop. Alex Anderson beginning his.
He got an out lap and an in lap right there. He didn't get a full lap in, so clearly not happy with the car for whatever reason. You look at both of the DeSalle guys spinning right there through the penultimate corner. Alex taking a wider line, and he's going to use that wall to keep him in. I think he gained time right there. That's a pretty interesting strategy.
Graham so far ahead in practice, sitting a 21 flat, and Alex sitting a 31 flat. Alex coming into the pits. I don't know if you saw Alex, but he looked like he was doing very, very well. It just seemed like there was a bit of issue on the straight getting caught up with nobody to get him. It seems that he's in the pits. A lot of people are going to be going into the pits just to change their tires, to see what they can do for tire strategies, because once you lock in their tires for qualifying, that's what you have to run.
Watch Julian Miller and Dan DeSalle here down the front stretch. Both of them understeering quite a bit through turn 1. Dan DeSalle going to overturn and hit the wall. Julian Miller getting through there pretty decently before he got caught up on the wall. And Alex Anderson out of the pits now.
Alex Anderson, I'm excited to see what he can do. He has slowly gotten better, but in this car, honestly, it seems to be fine with the tires. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a bit of understeer and a bit of oversteer, but the straight line speed seems the same, and it just seems like he can control it just as much. And I bet he didn't expect that at all as he shoves both of the DeSalles into the walls, sitting at 17.3. Wow, that is impressive.
That's very fast, yeah. The car looks very planted right now. I mean, you wouldn't even know it's on drift tires hardly with how planted it looks. He's just zooming around at everybody, so he must be in really good shape here. 22 car into the pit, trying something new out probably.
And it's not like we know that Anderson isn't on drift tires. He actually is halfway. He's doing half and half combination right now. And the grip that he has, honestly, might set him up for his first pole. And there goes Cohen Bell leaving the pits. It seems that he isn't on all drift tires as he immediately slides while leaving the pit because of that wheel spin.
3 cars down there, pit lane. Matthew Lucas has called it. He's set a 35.7 so far. And this might be the 3's first chance at an actual flying lap instead of a pit lap. We'll see if he stays out this time around. I'll be interested to see what he can do because he's the only one that hasn't actually set a real time.
I love watching cars on drift tires. It's just so chaotic, and no matter what the drivers can do, it's very hard to control them. And like Matthew Lucas going near the final turn, he was using that wall to help him ride along it to set actually a somewhat decent time. But again, he's just sliding around.
26.6 for the 3 car. That's his first one out. We'll see if he can improve, but that's a pretty solid time. It moves Matthew Lucas to the back. Look at that thing fly around. It's definitely got a lot of speed in it, just no grip. I think, like you said, he was on the old drift tires, and he's trying to put down a flyer with this one.
Dan DeSalle sitting fifth. He is doing a lot better than expected. His car is very, very twitchy to control, and it seems that it's either the exact same or on the exact opposite spectrum. It's Matthew Lucas having a huge collision with the walls down there. We have not yet seen Alex Anderson nor Graham DeSalle leave the pits. It seems that they are changing their tire strategies to see what they can do, to see what is best for qualifying.
'22 car's been in the pit for a while. I believe we're still in mandatory, so he probably is changing tires. That usually takes a little bit. He's got the second fastest time, and so we'll see. It looks like he's trying to improve that, would be my guess. That or he's had something go wrong with the car that's forced him into the pit lane.
Julian Miller's struggling with his car a lot. He's struggling so much, but it doesn't really seem like that, sitting the third fastest time. Everybody is now above. Get yourself flying into the pits.
In reverse, might I add.
Anyways, everybody has set a time above 30 seconds. Dan DeSalle now in the back. To be expected. Cohen Bell sitting in fifth, coming off of a pole position. Do you think their given skills on race tires has anything to do with drift tire skills?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a different skill set, but a lot of this racing is knowing when to turn into the corner and knowing how much turning to put into it through a corner. And that still applies here. It's just a lot less responsiveness, and you're kind of committed to a turning motion once you start it. So you kind of have to change it a little bit, but you still have to know when to turn in and how long to turn and all that. So yeah, I do think it applies. I mean, you see the 21 very fast. The 16 is a bit of a surprise, but not a huge surprise. The 3 car we always see out the front, he's on all drift tires right now, so it's not a huge surprise that he has a slower time, but he doesn't have a terrible time. It's not like the skill isn't converted at all.
Graham DeSalle is leaving the pits. Oh, and that's a tire. The tire has come off of his car near the top of the ramp. And so is Alex Anderson leaving the pits.
22 car has struggled a lot. Like you were saying earlier, he put down that 22.7 pretty early in the session and hasn't really improved a lot. It looks like a real handful, not just in the fact that the back end's sliding out, but it doesn't look like it's easy to turn in. It seems like he's stuck going straight a lot, just straight into the walls. Nailing the 3 car down there at the end of the ramp. It just looks like a real handful.
Yeah, that number 7 car is having a bit of a issue, as it seems. And Alex Anderson actually flying through the corners, having to use the walls, but still setting what seems like going to be a good lap. It is not going to be at his fastest lap. But wow.
Julian Miller hits him right there. He's kind of on a reign of terror right now, it looks like. Maybe not by his own volition. I don't know how much control he has over that car.
Gracifer. Seems that Graham is trying to find that spare tire with the screw down there, but he does not find it.
You should definitely hope those issues don't, appear and come back in the race. Hopefully he can get that sorted and get the car back going in the right direction in qualifying and in the race.
Do you think that qualifying is going to stay like this?
Like how?
Given the laps that have been done right now?
No, I think a lot of what we're seeing is guys getting in each other's way. These things are hard to control, and when you're all on top of each other, it's hard to put down a clean lap. When you're out there on your own, you're going to have much less hang-ups. So I think you'll see faster times, as well as maybe a little bit more focus.
I honestly think Alex Anderson might get his first pole position. Like you're saying, even though I think that cars are getting in the way of everybody, I still think that Alex Anderson was able to set that 17.3 with traffic and almost getting caught up in traffic. And I honestly think he will be able to pull off his first pole position. But I say that as he's stuck.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have moments, yeah. I've been watching this 3 car a lot. This might be a better time. Yeah, it is by just a little bit. I feel like I feel like he's being real cautious with it, not keeping the car, not being too aggressive. And
That's pretty cool right there.
everybody's down here in the hairpin right here. Somehow nobody makes contact.
Oh, almost there with the 3 and 22.
Yeah. Matthew Lucas has also been whittling away at his time, I think, by a little bit. He's getting close to Julian, who's definitely struggling out there. Something's gone wrong with the car since the start.
I wonder if Julian got a lucky lap in there before traffic all unfolded.
Yeah, that might be the case too.
Which you hate to say, you really do, but sometimes that's just how racing goes. You get a lucky lap that you probably shouldn't have gotten, but that doesn't mean that you're not a bad driver. It still means that within like the high rates of like 1 in a million, you get a good lap. I don't know what the 3's doing, but
Struggling, as everyone is, I think. Maybe a little more than others right now.
Julian Miller doing really well
That
right
was
now.
a
Wow.
gorgeous
Oh.
line. I mean, if you've been watching him, the back end's stepping around every time through that corner. I think it's his tire setup. You'll see something similar, I think, through the second to last corner. Yeah, right there. Yeah, it's the tire setup, I believe. But it's those right-handers. Thankfully, it's mostly left-handers around here.
Perfect for him. What do you think the optimal tire setup is?
You know, I haven't been down there on the track, and it's hard to know who's running what. Right now, I'd say whatever the 16's running. He definitely seems to have the fastest car, and he looks really planted right now. He looks under control now. Who knows how the flip side of that is going to work, because obviously he has to run the opposite in the second stint or whatever he decides, if he does decide to run that for the first stint, I assume. So it's really hard to say at this point, but whatever the 16's running would be my guess.
I actually have a list of what all the drivers are running. The 22, 16, the 7, and the 31. Those 4 out of 6 are running crisscross patterns, where it's where the front, where one is drift, one is rubber, and then on the exact opposite side, rubber drift, and then flip-flop for their pit. And the other 2, Matthew Lucas and Cohen Bell, currently sitting P4 and 5 in practice time, are running all drift tires.
Part of it varies too,
And there goes Cohen Bell with a good lap.
that you could be running, right rear, left front is rubbers, or left rear, right front is rubbers. So now obviously he's switching the second stint, but between the 4 guys running the diagonal or the crisscross, who knows who's running what between those 2, because it does vary. I mean, the corners are different directions. And also, all the cars are going to handle it a little bit differently. These aren't identical cars.
Yeah, I agree. So far, nobody has actually broke the 20s. It's only Alex Anderson down there. He's been setting a couple 19s and 18s, but nothing has beat that 17.3.
Yeah, nobody's really gotten close besides the 16 car. And like I said, I mean, I believe you in that he is on drift tires, but it doesn't even look like it. That car is very planted. It looks very under control, at least relative to everybody else. Maybe not completely under control, but relative to everybody else, it's a lot better.
Yeah, looking at the 22, when he turns left, even that slight motion going up turn 1, 2, 3, around turn 5 to 6, about where the pit exit is, even going down there is still troublesome for him, and he can't even do that without having the rear go loose, just like we saw near the entrance of the pit. It also seems that mandatory practice is coming to an end. Alex Anderson running the wall like that one NASCAR move to win the race. Well, not to win, to qualify in the top 10.
Hail Mellon, Ross Chastain. Yeah, we've seen him use the wall a little bit throughout this session to kind of keep the back end under control and keep the car within the lines. It's been an interesting technique. We'll see how much he can replicate it in qualifying in particular, but also in the race.
So far for practice, here are the lap times. So far in first is Alex Anderson with a 17.3, followed up with his Graham DeSalle with a 21 flat. Then Matthew Lucas with a 22 flat, Cohen Bell with a 22.3, then Julian Miller with a 22.7, and then last, Dan DeSalle with a 28.0. There's only a 7/10 of a second between Matthew, Cohen, and Julian, and I'm honestly excited to see if that will be the same in qualifying.
I think they want extra temps, but we're going to go ahead and do the quality draw.
It's not spin.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Oh,
making
I
sure
thought you did.
we're good. Okay. Excuse me. Who's going first? I like the colors.
Oh,
capitalization.
Alex.
Who? I'm gonna say the E after it.
Alex, yeah! Also, rule still applies if you're not ready and in line, then you get a 1 place penalty.
What up, baby?
Why isn't Lando racing?
He's lame.
No.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, only got 3 white only.
How does the wheel spin for so long?
White only.
If it gets really now, it's gonna be all white.
Oh, I see. Matthew with the capital A.
Matthew.
Lucas, more like Luke ass.
Wow. And it's Graham!
Yeah.
This is like the time where I was the last red one, and everyone.
At this rate, yellow might be the solid color at the end.
Ooh.
It
It's
is.
going to be all yellow.
You know, it's crazy. I said I would be that.
Who's last?
Might be Ben.
Who? I'm not in it.
We don't know
Ben
yet.
Scott.
It's still
Yeah, we
spinning.
don't
Ben
know yet.
Scott.
Ben has a.
Nope.
His is on another screen.
It's Julian!
It was close.
It was really close.
It was really close.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much all there is.
The way you said it was so much more funnier.
We are now starting qualifying with Alexander Anderson. He is coming off of a third place qualifying in the MNGP. He's looking to run very well. As we saw in practice, his car seemed the best running out of the group, setting the only sub 20 out of the bunch.
Yeah, guys, of course, are able to change their tire setup in between practice and qualifying, but
Ooh.
whatever they run in qualifying, they have to start the race with.
It seems that he is sliding a lot more than he did during practice, and it seems that his car is way faster. Maybe a battery changes because of this.
Yeah, and it's definitely moving a lot faster. We'll see if he can keep it under control.
He slips right as he starts his lap. That's not going to be good. It's very controlling, though, until then. The left-handers that, right-handers that gets everybody, apparently, on this track.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the tire setup, but it seems to be the popular setup that struggles with that. This is going to be a decent lap, though, 21.66. He really cleaned up the back half of the lap, and it's looking better.
Yeah.
A lot better through the first half this time around.
Still a wreck, but again, the tire combination is going to make it so it's not easy to stay clean.
Yeah, nobody's going to be perfect. This is looking to be a little bit faster. Yeah, an 18.91, that's really quite fast. It's almost as fast as his practice time.
Looking to improve, actually. He's really using those walls to help him out, and I honestly think that's a good strat. Oh, and he gets caught off the track. That's going to probably kill it.
Thankfully right next to a rescuer, but yeah, I think it's way too late at this point. 18.91, though, that's going to be a tough one to beat. Nobody went any faster than that, even in practice.
Up next is Cohen Bell. Cohen Bell is coming off of a pole position from the Braden Kinder Grand Prix, ended third because of a disappointing battery run. He's looking to do very strong in this race because of that, for sure. Getting ready to qualify. See Alex down there, looking goofy.
Yeah, we saw him really using the all plastics strategy in practice. We'll see what he's running in this. It'll be interesting to see. He's off.
There he goes.
Looks really slick. Might be using the same one.
I agree. I think he is struggling to get over that ramp.
Yeah, the all plastics is really the only strategy that struggles to get up the ramp like that. So that would be indicative.
Decent recovery to get back on the ramp, and he starts his lap off immediately hitting the wall. We saw that from Alex Henderson, so, not too shocking. It's really funny watching people on these tires because it's like we're so used to them with grip, so seeing them slide around like that just feels weird. He's going to go over the ramp nice and well.
Yeah, that was a pretty good Sector 2. But struggling a little bit through Sector 3. Keeping it under control, but kind of slow. It's going to be 28.7. A lot of room to improve through Sector 1, which that was perfect right there. And a little bit of a hang-up down there in the hairpin. Still looking like a decent lap, though.
These people are going to use the walls to their advantage, as they should. I feel like if you can use anything on the track to help them, then you should. And no need not to. That was a pretty good turnaround, actually. I really enjoyed that.
2308, that's going to be a big improvement. And again, really clean through Sector 1. Sector 2 is going to be kind of where you can gain a little bit of time, as well as Sector 3. And he's going to get hung up right there. Still looking decent.
Yeah, definitely looking to improve if you can.
And it's going to be close.
It's going to be a better lap.
He's going to get it. 21.25. That's going to put him second behind Alex. But not a bad lap.
Yeah, and that's faster than his practice lap, actually. Up next is going to be Matthew Lucas. Matthew Lucas is coming off of a technical second. Actually, no, that's third place qualifying in the Braden Kinder Grand Prix, which is among his best qualifying runs that he has had besides the Skittle 200 with a second place because of Abram Shields, which we have not yet seen Abram at a race recently.
This is the other guy that was running the all plastics in practice, so we'll see if he's doing that again. Again, you can usually tell right at the start. It's kind of fun to watch. Graham DeSalle up next, and then Dan DeSalle will finish with I'm blanking, Julian Miller. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, Julian Miller's
Yes.
after. Good start, actually. It seems that he is not on all drift. It seems that he changed it, and I believe, as I've been told in the pit, that he is doing the diagonal style,
Okay.
aka the X, as I call it. Very slidey.
Yeah, it's against the right-handers. I think that that's just really struggling with those sort of corners. The two right-handers are the two tightest corners on the track, so that might have to do with it as well. This is a solid lap, in 19.32, though. It's pretty good.
It's going to put him second. Honestly, a lot of room to improve. This could be a first ever pole position for Matthew Lucas. But it's also in contention for a first ever pole position for Alex Anderson.
And, of course, the 22, most common pole sitter, still yet to run. Julian Miller, he had a pole at the Holiday Grand Prix. He is going sixth. And we have time for extra attempts as well, so really anybody's still on the table.
And could Dan DeSalle pull off a pole position?
That's possible as well. 34.7, a big step back, but it's looking cleaner through Sector 1 there. Very clean.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he gets hung up on the wall. Spoke
That's
too
gonna
soon.
do it.
Yeah. That first lap was just really not even perfect. It was just fast. And 19.32 is going to put him second ahead of the 3 car.
Weird to say that Matthew Lucas's car is fast. It's normally not the case.
This is a wacky race. And 26.37.
Up next is Graham DeSalle. Graham DeSalle is coming off of a second place qualifying from the BKGP. He had a lot of trouble on that track for qualifying. Let's see if the exact same thing will happen. He put up 21 flat during practice and got second, so let's see if he can improve. As you said earlier, he has the most pole positions, so we'll see if that will add on. So he slides around. Wow. Might not be helpful.
Usually not helpful, no. Starting his run right here, a lot more controlled after that moment. Oh, he hits the wall immediately. Still 2 more laps to improve, and you never know. This could still be a fast lap. It's looking like a real handful. It almost looks understeery and then oversteery. We don't see a lot of understeer out of these cars, so that looks like a handful for sure. Very controlled lap, though. He's handling the conditions really well. It's going to be a 21.8, so pretty solid lap from him. It's going to put him right around the 3 car.
He wrecked yet again at the very beginning of the lap. It seems to be a common case for everybody right now. As he's definitely probably going to improve his time. But again, like you said, his car understeers and oversteers at the same time. That's definitely going to have a play in the race for sure.
23.52. This is hopefully going to be his fastest lap.
Oh.
Gets a little hung up right there. And still could improve if he really puts it down through the second half. Clean so far. It's going to be close if he can keep it clean. Very together through both of those corners. And around the final, it's going to be close. It's a 25.3. It's going to put him just ahead of the 3 car.
Up next is going to be Dan DeSalle. He is coming off of a better qualifying run than usual. It is a 5th place qualifying run. That is the best that he has had in his career at the moment. If he can qualify ahead of at least Julian Miller upcoming, at the very least, he can secure another 5th place qualifying. but his car's been known to be a handful. He DNF'd in the last race due to some errors, and this race during practice he struggled a lot. So let's see if that'll bite him in his butt.
Struggling to get up the ramp a little bit. I wonder if he's on the all drifts.
Doesn't look like it based off of the way that he accelerates. Front end goes up very sternly. I wonder why.
And pretty controlled there through the last corner. Keeping it off the wall at the start, so that's an improvement over some other people. I would not say all drifts. It looks very controlled. Back end stepping out through the rights. This is probably diagonals like you were saying. And honestly, not a bad lap so far.
Very understeery on some cases, and then very oversteery like we've seen. But this is the worst case scenario. But he catches that really well.
He caught it, and then he lost it again. A good flick spin to get it pointed, and it's going to be a 25.41. Decent lap to start. We'll see if he can cut down. That puts him fifth so far, but not too far off.
He's going to con that wall because of that oversteer, and then gets caught again because of understeer. It's a handful for him, and he's trying to fight it, but it seems like he can't. That car is just too much for him. And honestly, I feel like that'd be too much for anybody as well. Oh, barely catches that, actually. It's pretty well. Not going to improve, though.
28.46. He's got one more chance to improve here. Keeping it off the walls through sector 1. A spin, but he recovers decently. If he can get it pointed, yep.
That car's pulling a Cohen Bell ballerina move.
Could be a small improvement. Maybe not. He's going to struggle to get up the ramp there. Yeah, you need to run up to get up the ramp. It looks like, at least with that car and with some other cars. So this is going to be slower. It's going to put him fifth so far. He'll have chances at extra attempts, though.
Yes, and Julian Miller is up next. He was struggling a lot near the blunt end of practice.
31.12 was his third lap.
Not the best. Let's see what Julian Miller can do. Julian Miller is coming off of a fifth place qualifying at the MNGP. That is a huge leg up from his seventh and sixth place qualifying, besides the fourth place qualifying at the Skittles. So he's slowly getting better. He still had a huge fall off ever since that pole position in the Holiday Grand Prix. But let's see if he's slowly getting better and if he will soon be at the top yet again.
We can already see the 53 and 31 requeuing for extra attempts. That's kind of interesting. We'll see what they do. But yeah, here comes Julian Miller. Like you said, he's got a pole before, so we'll see if he can run it back. We've seen a lot of good laps so far, but I don't mean to insult anybody. I won't say we've seen any great laps, so there's definitely a chance.
He's getting ready to queue out. There's Dan DeSalle looking on his phone, sending some texts.
Ooh.
Looking up for his glasses. Goofy goober. And there he goes, flying. Honestly, looking really fast.
And not, turned in too early there, but not too out of control through the corners, honestly. I mean, it looks decently planted compared to most other cars we've seen. We'll see what he does to this right-hander. I'm sure he'll spin. Yeah, but he keeps it under control with the wall there. That was a pretty good recovery. This is going to be fast.
It's a very fast car, and I'm honestly not very surprised that he can handle it to a certain extent. He's a great driver, but I think that car is also so fast that there's some times where you won't be able to handle it.
22.51. He got really held up through sector 3. That's where he's going to have his biggest chance at improvement, I should say. Getting hung up down there in the hairpin, but recovering okay.
Let's see what he can do in sector 3. Oh, mean lick. Holy moly.
I think he caught that green pool noodle and flipped. And the back end's going to step out again. It's going to be small, very small improvement, 22.34. One more shot at it. This has potential.
It does has the potentiality to, well, not to be on pole anymore, but it definitely has potentiality to be second. So if he can get a really clean run within the last corners.
Oh, man, he tried to use that wall to keep his back end in, and it just bounced too much, and that really killed the lap. 21.57, that is going to be a small improvement, though.
Very consistent. It's going to put him fourth so far. Matthew Lucas going up again. I don't know why he's actually qualifying again. I think he's not qualifying to get a better lap, but he's changing tires. I think he's changing to all drifts because think about this. If you have all drifts, and then once you swap, and if you are able to keep on, then that's straight from all drifts to all race.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants that strategy, he will have to go out and set another lap as well because you have to start the race on the set that you qualified on. So if he wants to start this, he has to qualify on the set. So that might be why he's doing this.
There he goes. It very much looks like he's on all drifts right now, actually. Very slidey. He uses that wall to a decent extent. Comes across the line.
Looking a little understeery through the first couple corners, but pretty controlled, honestly. Going to use that wall to hold himself in. Textbook. That was gorgeous. This is a really good start to the lap.
This could still be a pole position.
Yeah, everything looks perfect so far. Keeping
Look
the
at
car
that.
under control. Oh,
Wow.
he catches the back end of the wall just a little bit too much, but still a good lap. 23.35. That knocks him back to fifth, disappointingly, but that was a really pretty lap for what it was.
Up next is going to be Dan DeSalle. He's just trying to not be last, which, I mean, he has nowhere to go but up. And it's very close. I believe it's there's about a second difference between him and Matthew. And if he can make that difference, then it'll be pretty good. But he's sliding immediately. That rear end kicks out the second that he accelerates.
I think the 3-car is handling a lot different than the 53, even though they're on all slicks. I think that car's a lot easier to control because that 53 looked really understeer. I didn't really see any of that out of the 53, but the 53 is still putting together a really good lap. I'd like to watch him in the race. Anyway, Dennis Sell starting his lap.
Looking a lot better than it did earlier. You can see that oversteer kicking in immediately, using those walls to really help, but he spins exactly where he did last time. Still a big step up from the last lap.
Yeah, good recovery. Keeping it under control. Going to bounce off the wall right there. And he's got to be 23.35. That's his time to beat. I don't think he's going to do it. Not quite. It was close.
Very.
24.12.
And that's going to be the end of qualifying. On pole position for the first time ever, Alex Anderson, followed by Graham DeSalle, Julian Miller, Cohen Bell, Matthew Lucas, and then Dan DeSalle.
Really?
I'm here, a sixth-place qualifier with his cat. How'd you feel about your run?
It was okay, actually. Still learning the car, and it's a little eccentric in the way it handles right now.
Are you looking forward to the race?
I am, actually. I think I could do some damage this time.
Alrighty, thank you very much. I'm here with fourth-place qualifier, Matthew Lucas. How'd you feel about fifth-place qualifier, Matthew Lucas. How'd you feel about your run?
Fifth.
Well, my qualifying lap, the first ones I was experimenting with having two race and two drifts on diagonals, and found that that does make some turns more difficult than others. And that means that for the second half of the race, every left-hand turn, which is most of them, would be pain. I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm going to go with all drifts to begin with, so that every turn is equally painful, and at the end of the race, I'll be in all race tires, and every turn will be still equally painful because I can't drive.
Alternate strategy for Matthew Lucas. Let's see how he does in the race. I'm here with fourth-place qualifier, Cohen Bell, coming off of a pole position. How do you feel about your qualifying run today?
Honestly, a little slower than it felt. I felt like it was maybe a 19, and it ended up being, I don't remember, like a 21 or 23 or something. So a little disappointing in that regard, but not. Car felt good, so we'll see how we do in the race.
How do you think you're going to do in the race?
We'll see, but I think that it's really impossible to tell. I have no idea with all these different strategies coming out. It'll be an interesting race.
I've been told that you are running a similar strategy to Matthew Lucas, running all drift then all race.
I came up with that first, by the way, so.
We know.
I take credit.
Oh, we know.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to handle?
Relative to the others, like I said, I have no idea. On its own, besides the obvious, I think that the drift tires are controllable enough. So hopefully pretty well.
Alrighty.
Third place qualifying run for Julian Miller. Tell us about the run.
I did a sip. It was pretty good. I was racing fast.
What tire combination did you use?
I have a crisscross pattern.
How do you think that'll go in the race? Tell us about that more.
I think it'll be, well.
Well, we're banning a few words. Julian Miller. We'll see what he does in the race.
I'm up. Wasn't late.
Second place qualifying run for Graham DeSalle. Tell us about the run, jerk.
I decided to qualify with a pair that was arguably the worst, and so I was like, if I do bad, then I do bad. But qualifying at the end of the day doesn't really matter. It's more or less the tires you start on. I'm not too worried about the tires. What are you zooming in on? I'm not too worried about the tires that I'm starting on. If I can get through 30 laps, then I can swap to the better ones. And I honestly don't know what to expect from this race. There's a lot going on, a lot of alternate strategies. I'm excited though. I'm just aiming for a podium. That's all I really am looking forward to.
Well, a good qualifying run for Graham DeSalle. Be interesting to see how he does in the race. Pole position for Alex Anderson. Tell us about the run.
Oh, you think bullshittery is your ally, but you merely adopt the BS. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the sensible until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but unfathomable. The moronic... Fuck! Fuck, damn it! Fuck! The morality of it betrays you! Because it's mine. Yeah, it went pretty well. I think it went pretty well.
First place for Alex Anderson.
We are now starting the race. The order is going to be Alex, Graham, Julian, Cohen, Matthew, and Dan. And they are off the very confusing start. That's Alex Anderson immediately in the lead with Julian Miller. Cohen Bell able to find his way up. Graham's having a slow start with Matthew Lucas right near the hairpin. Huge collision back there. Dan DeSalle struggling a lot already. Alex Anderson, like we predicted, is going to take the lead with Cohen Bell already up into second. And then Graham overtaking for second actually right now. But Alex Anderson running away.
Yeah, 3-car with a really good start up from 4th to 2nd. He's fallen behind the 22, but he's right back by him. Dan DeSalle with a tough start, as well as Julian Miller, who started a little slowly there. He's getting caught now catching up to Matthew Lucas, I should say.
Alex Anderson having a terrible run, but is able to recover the lead on the ramp. It's going neck and neck as Graham DeSalle overtakes it, but no, he's able to get it back yet again. Because Alex Anderson is running really well as he hits Graham. It's very confusing. There goes Graham to actually finally secure the lead as Alex is flipped over.
Yeah, tough break there for Alex Anderson flipping over. He's still going to be in second. Here comes a 3-car to try and pass him as Julian Miller a little bit further back from the 3-car. Matthew Lucas with a decent start has fallen way behind, well over a lap down. Still ahead of Dan DeSalle though.
Matthew Lucas is struggling a lot with the tire. Whoa, huge wreck between those two. I think that was a very interesting wreck that I saw. It's very challenging for Matthew right now. I don't know how he's going to do in this race. It's a bit chaotic right now, and it's kind of hard to see some decent racing. But again, once they swap over to their better sets, then we should see some good racing.
Yeah, the 3 and the 20, or the 3 and the 53, are on the all drifts. They'll switch to all rubbers. Everybody else is on some form of diagonal. So. Just so you guys know what's going on, the 3 and the 53 are really banking on the second stint.
And I mean, I wouldn't blame them either. I mean, all the stints matter, but if you can have somewhat of a serious advantage in one stint, but you can still keep up during the other stint, then by all means do so. Cohen Bell's actually able to hold on. He's about to get lapped, but again, everybody has to pit on their lap 30 unless they get just a 5-second penalty, if not, for each lap that goes on. And I don't know why people wouldn't. Maybe small advantage. Maybe they want a penalty. But yeah.
Yeah, I think all the top 5 are really staying kind of close. Even Julian has only got about half lap on Matthew. Dan DeSalle falling back a little bit. He's a lap down to the next car of Matthew Lucas, but still not doing terribly there. Everybody's pretty close, it seems like, which is a big advantage for the 53 and the 3-car.
Graham struggling terribly around turn 1, spent a solid 30 seconds trying to get straight because he could not turn right for the life of him in that car. Matthew Lucas going to help him out, actually.
Cohen Bell and Alex Anderson side by side there for a little bit, racing for second. The 3-car got a little loose on the front straightaway and lost it, but here he comes right back at the 16 as the 16 really struggles. Julian Miller comes flying in a lap behind and really holds up the 3-car.
There goes Graham to officially lap them. Possibly, if he can get by them without messing up. Alex Anderson, once battling for the lead, is about to get lapped as well. But no, he gets away while Cohen and Graham struggle and they fight a bit near the hairpin. Side by side with those two, actually, before Graham wrecks.
Julian Miller upside down. It's a tough break for him. He's going to get caught by Matthew Lucas likely if the rescuer doesn't hurry up. And he's still losing a little bit. Matthew Lucas getting kind of close right there.
Alex is slowly catching up to Graham. I didn't expect Graham to lead, to be honest. I expected Alex to, based off of practice and qualifying. But, he's really shown that he can use his awareness during races to really show up in the lead.
He hasn't completely gotten away either. Just like we saw in the last race, the Burger Kinder Grand Prix, the second place is keeping him honest and not staying too far back. We saw Matthew Lucas do that last time, and Alex Anderson's still only about a half lap back, over 10 laps into this race.
Looking pretty well. Ooh, Cohenville pitting Dan DeSalle. Didn't seem like it was on purpose. It just seemed like his car kind of glided over. Dan not yelling for help. It seems that he isn't really that focused on the race right now. More focused on trying to get used to the car.
Yeah, he's already quite a ways back. Anything can happen, but he needs to either pick up the pace or just take the sixth, I think, at this point, unfortunately for him. Struggling down there. That looks like the 3 in the 7 car down there in turn 1. The 3 trying to get going again got backed into by the 7 car, and that pushed him out of the way, and he lost some time.
The Alex Anderson is actually catching up. He almost had the lead for a little bit last lap, but then he wrecked right before the ramp. Seems like he's making up a lot of place right now. It's just, can he stay out of trouble with traffic?
He's in trouble right there. He loses some time. Going to get backed into by Matthew Lucas, hold him up a little bit, but he's still moving pretty good. He's not letting that 22 car get away. And the 3 car has fallen over a lap down, but like we said, he's on the all slicks, so even just to be this close is a pretty solid run for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Matthew Lucas showing the other side of running all drift tires, that it can be a little scary and sometimes a little dangerous. But, and just as I say that, actually, Alex Anderson gets by Graham DeSalle for the lead.
But he flips. Oh, no. That's unfortunate. The 22 has such trouble in the hairpin, though. He's still struggling down there, that it's not going to hurt the 16 at all. Alex Anderson's still in the lead. He's going to lead lap 15.
Not very shocked by that whatsoever. That 22 car has a lot of handling issues around the hairpins.
Alex Anderson right off the front of Julian Miller trying to lap him. And now it looks like he might be stuck under the wall there as well. He's going to lose everything. The rescuer is not seeing him. He's following the point.
There goes Graham DeSalle by him to lead so far for lap 16 as Alex Anderson catches up, actually. Great race between those two.
Yeah, back and forth. I think Julian Miller might be catching Cohen Bell as well by just a little bit.
Neck and neck down the straight between Alex and Graham. Alex is moving a lot slower right now. I'm kind of fearing that his battery might be dying. Stuck, can't go over the ramp. That's not going to be good.
Might be a rescue. Not moving. Yeah, he's getting a pit stop. Oh, he's already down there. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him because that is not that's not your pit stop. That's just an extra that you have to take. You have to pit on lap 30 anyway, so that's really going to hurt him.
Yeah. I would just like to say Cohen Bell is keeping on to Graham DeSalle right now. He's about to get his lap back down there in the second to final hairpin. Same for every other racer down there. He's keeping on. He's only about now he's no longer a lap down.
About a lap behind, yeah.
It's going to be, once they swap tires, Cohen's going to probably run up front and win the race.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking really good right now. He's 2 laps ahead of Matthews on the same strategy, so he's definitely outpacing him. And, like you said, he's in really good shape once they change tires. Again, that's on lap 30, so that we'll see when that happens right there.
Julian Miller has snuck his way up to third, actually. Alex Anderson dropping all the way down to fifth from second. That's just so disappointing.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for him. This isn't a race where kind of you can pit early and make it all back up at the end. Everybody's going to pit on lap 30, and that includes Alex. So where he is right now, he's going to have to make that all up on the track. Really tough break for him. But yeah, good run from Julian Miller. He's stayed about the same half a lap, third of a lap behind the 3 car, but he's now past Matthew Lucas, who's struggling on all those old drifts.
This race is definitely one that I've been looking forward to the most, just because of the pure carnage that is going on. This is a very, very fun race to watch, just because...
Here comes the 7. He's catching the 3 down there in the hairpin.
Wow.
course, the back end steps out like it's been known to do, but he's getting really close.
He's so fast. Did you see him shoot down that small straight?
Yeah, down the back straight, doing really good. And, you can see it's just those two right-handers that are really holding him up. But other than that, he's catching.
Alex Anderson is out of the pit. He's catching up to Matthew Lucas, actually. I wonder if he'll be able to catch up to Julian Miller. I honestly don't know.
5 laps before the pit would be quite the thing, but maybe after the pit he could get that. A lot of time can be gained or lost in the pit as well. It's not like everybody's going to be in the pit for the exact same amount of time, so we'll see how long it takes everybody.
Yeah, and Julian Miller is ahead of Cohen Bell.
Yeah, you got by him right there.
I wonder if Cohen Bell and Julian are going to be battling for the win. I think Graham, honestly, is going to have to try to extend his lead right now as much as possible. Because once they swap over, Cohen's going to be on something just a set that will allow him to be 4 to 5 seconds faster than the whole field.
Here he comes to put him 2 laps down in the final corner as they get around Dan South. So it's about 2 laps right here that he's going to have to basically hold him off. And he gets 2 laps of insurance for the final 30 laps. That's going to be a tall order, but this guy's won a lot of races. It could happen. There he loses quite a bit of ground through turn 2.
And there goes Alex. He's catching up to Matthew, actually. He can just get around that hairpin and catch up to him, and he will be up into 4th. He's so fast, flying through these corners as he hits Matthew. Nudging him aside.
I'm watching the 3 and the 7 car right here. Ooh, good run through the hairpin there for Julian Miller. He used the wall to catch his back end, but they're still really close. They're still back and forth. And look at Matthew Lucas and Graham DeSalle. Good crossover there from the 22, and he's going to pull away on those partial rubbers.
Matthew Lucas is struggling quite a bit. He's 4 laps down from the leader, about 4.5 laps, actually. I don't think he'll be able to make his way into the top 3.
I mean, we don't really know to what extent these drift tires are holding him back, and to what extent the rubbers are gonna be an advantage. I mean, he's got 2 more laps to gain against the leader than the 3 does, but that's not a huge order in 30 laps. So he could still come back. It really depends on how much of an advantage you get.
You're right, James. You're right. I completely forgot that he was on all drifts to all rubbers. I thought he was on the half and half because honestly, his car looks like it's handling the exact same. Well, near to the same. It does look a little slidey on more corners and a little understeery on others. But I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, Alex Anderson has gotten back by him here on lap 24 for both of those guys.
Alex's car is so fast. This is honestly BK levels of speed. Alex's car, this is a new one. His old one was set the record for the fastest car at about 17 kilometers, aka about 11 miles per hour.
I should also add, I made a mistake in speaking earlier. You don't pit on lap 30, you pit after you complete a lap 30 laps. So you'll pit on lap 31. We will see the 22 do this next time by.
Yes, that makes much more sense. I was a little worried that he wasn't pitting. He was going to get a penalization for that. There he goes into the pits. 3 laps ahead of Cohen Bell. Let's see, that's about projected about I'd say maybe at the very most a minute. And let's see if he can make up any time in a minute during that before it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be probably a pretty long pit stop, a full four tire change. But whoever can do that fastest is going to have a huge advantage because, like we've spoken, it's not everybody's in the pit for the same amount of time. Julian Miller in the pit.
Wow.
Right before the pit stop, too. That's going to be same sort of tragedy that Alex Anderson saw.
Gosh.
Alex has gotten back by him in the meantime. Alex is putting down some solid laps. There goes Matthew by him, so that's going to be tough for Julian Miller.
That really shows how close this racing is, that an emergency pit stop puts you down from 3rd to 5th. And Julian was actually hanging on to the top people. Alex Anderson back into 3rd after having that disappointing pit stop. Honestly, he might be gunning for the win.
Yeah, he's in good shape. He's flipped upside down over there in turn 1, but he's got a lap on Matthew Lucas now, who's on that other strategy. Cohen Bell in the pit. He's made it to that point. Alex Anderson still with a little bit to go. But yeah, Alex Anderson really in pretty solid shape here. He's pretty much caught Matthew Lucas, obviously on the stronger set, but
Graham
good
DeSalle
pace.
lost a screw.
Oh no!
On the track. Yeah. It's not going to be good. That's top 2 in the pits.
As well as Julian Miller, who hasn't made it to the tire. He's not allowed to change tires in this pit stop either. He has to wait until lap 30. or until he's completed 30 laps, I should say. Here he comes out of the pit lane as Alex is on his last lap. Matthew still with 2 to go. Dan DeSalle back there. He's quite a ways further back. I think he's really struggling with the car.
Yes, that's very unfortunate. When he crosses the line, Alex should be coming into the pits. Not being told to come into the pits.
Ooh. That's not good. That will incur a 5-second penalty probably. Shouldn't hurt him too much. With how close this racing is, you never know.
I'm getting a
He's
call
gonna
from
flip.
the pits that they actually forgot to tell him to come into the pits.
Okay, so he's okay there.
He will not get a 5-second penalty, but his team will receive a $500 fine for that, which is not good.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Here comes Matthew into the pit. For the time being, Alex Anderson has the lead as he's gone out an extra lap, so lucky him. Julian Miller now with 2 to go. He's stuck down there between the hairpin and turn 1 on the infield. Matthew Lucas into the pit now.
Dan DeSalle, 9 to go till he can go out. He's struggling a lot, and I feel bad for him. But, his car has seen a couple of issues during practice and during qualifying, and it seems that he was not able to fix them in the meantime. But who knows what will happen. I don't think he'll get 5th. Julian Miller on his last lap before the pits. There's 4 people in the pits at once. It'll soon be 5. I honestly thought Graham DeSalle would be out by now, but he's not. Kind of curious on what's taking him so long.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have any firm reference for how long a 4-tire stop takes either. It might just take this long. We saw him fumble a little bit the screw down there on the track, but who knows how long this is really going to take. Julian Miller now into the pit, or trying to at least.
Still not in the box. There he goes.
There he goes in the box.
That's going to be 5 out of 6. That just leaves Dan DeSalle.
Graham DeSalle coming out here now. Struggling a little bit.
Cannot steer that car.
Can't see the car.
Just embarrassing. There he goes. Running up. That will allow him to gain about, 2 to 3 laps. I honestly don't know how many laps he will be able to gain on Cohen. I don't know if Cohen has been struggling in the pits. I know Graham definitely was.
It's hard to say. We would expect him to be around. I mean, assuming they have the same time. Oh, but no, there's the 3-car out of the pit lane now.
That is not good for Graham. I mean, I didn't expect Graham to even win this race, but I expected him to run for a little longer.
The 3-car is going to be on the same lap as the 22. Cohen Bell in really good shape here with those all rubbers now.
That's just how long will it take for him to catch up? Probably about 3 laps, 2 to 3 laps, maybe even 1, just based off of what's going on down there.
Yeah, they're both on 29 to go, so he's got plenty of time. Make it 28 to go for Graham DeSalle. He's still about a half lap ahead. 3 cars flipped down there.
That'll be helpful for Graham, but he's also wrecking in the hairpin with his father. And Alex Anderson going to leave the pits. They're having a bit of issues.
Good stop there, though. I think that was pretty quick.
Yes, actually. That was faster than Matthew's. Matthew actually had to go get his battery upstairs.
Oh, man, that's going to slow him down quite a bit. There's Alex out of the pit. 22, not really catching the 3.
Now very much catching the 22.
Here he comes now. He was about a half lap behind for a while there, but looks like 22 is struggling just a little bit. And here comes Cohen Bell for the lead.
Graham's still going to put up a fight for that, but it's over. There goes Cohen Bell, leading for probably the rest of the race. And Alex Anderson's struggling a lot. I don't know if you saw him right down there, drifting basically. Part of me wonders if he used his best set to start.
Might be able to help him get pole as well.
Ooh, flying over that ramp. Kind of used it less of the type of ramp we have and more of an actual ramp. But Cohen Bell flying away. This is going to secure, probably, hopefully, if he doesn't have another battery issue like he had last time, his 2nd win.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen.
It's racing, folks.
Anything can happen with any of these guys as well. It's not just the 3-car that's susceptible to battery issues. So we'll see. Matthew Lucas should be coming out of the pit soon. Here comes Julian Miller out of the pit.
Flying.
On that new set.
This is not good for Matthew Lucas. No clue what's going on with him. Having a terrible pit stop.
Yeah, struggling quite a bit. He's going to be on all rubbers, but he's going to have a lot of work to do.
He's going to have to make up 7 to 8 laps on Graham to get to get 2nd, and about 4 to 5 laps on Alex based off of when he's coming out. When he's coming out right now. Yeah, about 4 laps on Alex to get 3rd.
Yeah, he's already a lap down from Julian as well. Looks like Dan DeSalle stuck down there in the long turn 2.
Feels so bad. He's still on set 1 while everybody else is on set 2.
Yeah, he's not just 4 laps down. He's 4 laps and a long pit stop down as well.
So I'd say about 10 laps down. Maybe 13 laps given everybody else, but 10 laps for the leader. But yeah, Cohen Bell already 2 laps ahead of Graham DeSalle, and that was just in the span of about 5 laps of gaining the lead.
Yeah, he's in good shape right here. 20 to go. A strong lead. He just has to bring it home, really. It's really Matthew Lucas that has to put the hammer down and try and get up through these couple spots. Like you said, he's got about 7 laps now behind Graham DeSalle. That's what he has to make up, and about 20 for Graham DeSalle.
What I will say, 18 laps left to go. His battery looks strong, but we said that around the same time last time, and we saw what happened then.
You'd think he'd have learned his lesson. That team would have fixed their mistake, but we'll see.
I'm going to talk to the pits real quick to see if they can tell me if he actually put in a new battery or not.
Okay, you talk to the pits. Looks like yeah. So I'm watching Matthew Lucas right here. He's stuck down there in the hairpin, but he's who I'm watching the last couple laps, and he hasn't been putting down flyers, so I think he really needs to get his head in the game here. He gets past. Oh, that looks slow too. He gets passed by the 3 car.
Yeah, that does look slow. I just got done talking with the pits, and it turns out that Cohen Bell did not change his battery, actually.
Well, I guess he feels confident.
Last minute change, too. I don't think that's the right play. But this track is so much shorter, and I think around then, the fastest lap around there was about a 15-second. Well, Cohen's constantly setting down 14s and 13s on this track, so he's going to have a lot more time. But again, he's just flying right now.
Julian Miller getting past Alex Anderson there for 3rd. Alex may be fading a little bit, or maybe Julian's just on a charger.
Dan DeSalle on his last lap before his pit.
Yeah, he should be coming in this time. Stuck down there in the 3rd last corner. It's turn 6.
And crosses the line. Now he can pit to change to set 2. Hopefully be a little less chaotic. Combo flying by Graham yet again to lap him to put him 3 laps down.
Something looks wrong with the 53. It's not turning very well. I watched it really struggle through the right-hander. It looks like the lights might be flickering as well. We'll see if he can make it to the end.
Honestly, I thought I saw that when he left the pit. I'm not going to lie. So I thought at first I saw that, but we've seen a lot of battery issues happen to these cars over the years. We've seen it happen once to Matthew during the Holiday Grand Prix. And then never again. So let's see if that'll change it. But yeah, it looks so much slower than usual.
Yeah, something kind of off about that car for sure. Alex not letting Julian get away. Oh, he flipped right there just as I say that. He's going to let him get away, yeah. But hanging close, even though he did lose that spot. Matthew Lucas really struggling there. He's going to lose a lap to Julian Miller, who's supposed to be, if you will, his prey. He's going to lose a lot more time there.
Speaking of Alex Anderson having a mean lick, actually, on the back straight, spinning out and going right in front of Graham. Well, Graham was trying to give him as much space as possible. That was a pretty funny moment right there. But Cohen Bell, with 8 laps to go, getting hit from, who is it, Alex Anderson. Huge crash for Cohen Bell, actually. 8 laps to go, looking very strong battery-wise. I think we'll make it through. That was just evil.
I watched him get pushed in the wall by Julian Miller, and he took out his frustrations on poor Matthew Lucas, who's having a rough time out there. That wasn't very nice of him.
You'd expect Matthew to slowly gain even more time on these people because he's on all rubbers, but he really isn't.
Yeah, he was 4 laps down. He's down to 3, so he does gain a little bit of time, but not a ton either. That 4 and 3 lap comparison was to Julian Miller, who's supposed to be kind of the main target, I think, for him. I think Graham DeSalle at this point is out of reach.
Yeah, and Cohen Bell's out of reach from Graham DeSalle. Graham knows that he can't do anything, just letting Cohen go by every time, giving him enough room so he can go by without any confrontation. Cohen Bell, 5 to go. Slowly realizing that he is going to get his first win in a little over a year, which is crazy to say. A little over a year.
been very close a lot of times, but hasn't been able to get the win. This looks like it's going to be it if he can just make it home. Trying to get through some traffic right here. This is Matthew getting on the same lap now as Alex Anderson, so he's got one more lap to make up on him. Goes off right there.
Graham DeSalle letting Cohen go by.
3 to go now for the 3 car.
Countdown slowly nears its end. Graham having a decent race, actually. Started second, projected to end second unless something happens. I don't think I've ever seen a battery issue with Graham. He's never had a battery issue.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably a mix of good fortune and good preparation, but he's never really had those issues. The most issues we've ever seen out of the 22 car was the wheel falling off a long time ago, and that wasn't too much of an issue for him.
That was the Limestone Grand Prix. And Cohen is actually on his final lap. This race has been a race well worth for Cohen Bell. Cohen Bell finally able to get this win. He's had a tough year. Getting 9th, getting 2nd by a lap, getting 3rd because of a battery failure. But there goes Cohen Bell winning the Cornerstone Classic. First win for Cohen in a year. Absolutely deserved. And honestly, a dominant day by him. Great call on the strategy. Great pace during the entire race, actually. And great day for him. Definitely deserved.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good run for him. He really looked like he was the dominant car out there, and props to him. I feel like you've been saying, it's been coming for a long time. He's been very close a lot of times. This isn't a surprise, but it's a very welcome win. In the meantime, the 53 of Matthew Lucas has gotten past Alex Anderson's Lamborghini and has put just about a lap on him now. Closer to 2/3 of a lap, but he's still trying to catch Julian Miller as they approach 10 to go.
Dan DeSalle still in the pit. He is 16 laps down from the nearest competition. Very unfortunate day for him. I'm not very shocked that he had a bad run based off of practice and qualifying. But, you hate to see a guy who had to DNF last race after winning the LCQ very, very dominantly, and then now doing this, also possibly having a DNF.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. Just not the car today. For whatever reason, it wasn't communicating with him properly, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Graham DeSalle is soon coming to his final lap. Now on it right now. I said last race he was going to put an end to this domination, and Cohen Bell was the one to do it. And I think out of anybody who probably needed to do it, it was going to be him. But Graham DeSalle getting second. And even though it wasn't the greatest race for him, he definitely sliding around more than he'd like. Getting second right now is still going to be one heck of a result for him.
Yeah, good day for him. Great points today. And you can ask Cohen Bell down there in the pits. Second isn't anything to turn your nose up at.
Yeah, you can ask him 4 times in a row.
In the meantime, Matthew Lucas still trying to get past Julian Miller. It's about 2 laps. You can see them both going through the hairpins. About 2 laps between them. Is Matthew Lucas really running out of time here? He hasn't gained basically anything in a long time, so he's really got to put the hammer down and hope Julian has some issues because he's running out of time. Julian coming to 6 to go.
Dan DeSalle exiting the pit. His car is struggling more than I've ever seen. He tried to go simply just to the right, just a notch, and it ended up spinning all the way out.
Matthew upside down there in turn 2. That's going to lose another lap to Julian Miller. They're still about 2 laps apart. He isn't gaining at all, even though he's on a better tire strategy right now.
And that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I bet he'll be disappointed. We've obviously seen that the car seems to be having some battery trouble, so you can't blame him too much, but this is kind of what we were expecting was for Matthew Lucas to really even maybe get close to the 22 and breathe down his neck, and it hasn't happened at all. It hasn't come to fruition at all, so disappointing for him as he's definitely running out of time here.
Another person who's probably going to be disappointed is Alex Anderson. Alex losing a lot of time during a very poorly needed pit stop, and honestly that was a huge wreck from him actually, and probably a poorly managed strategy.
Yeah, he's just really faded the second stint. He hasn't been anywhere near what we saw in the first stint. Probably a factor of the tire strategy. We've assumed that he uses better set in the first stint, and that's looking more and more accurate.
Julian Miller soon about to cross the line eventually. I was looking at the wrong car. He is 3 to go.
Yeah, coming to 2 to go over the ramp here. Trying to get past Dan DeSalle. He's kind of driving backwards through there. Struggling a lot with his car. He's now upside down.
On the wrong side, too. Poor guy. Matthew Lucas gaining a lap back. Probably about to lose it soon. Never mind.
Yeah, Julian's struggling a lot with that car, but that's what you'd expect. I mean, Matthew's on a lot better of a tire strategy, so, or at least for this stint. So you'd expect him to pull away quite a bit. He's pretty much out of time, though. Julian with just over a lap to go.
I don't expect Matthew to be able to do anything, but we've seen some battery issues. A lot of really, really bad battery issues for Julian Miller. But let's see if that'll affect him on his final lap like it did for Cohen last race. But, Cohen won this race, so maybe it won't.
Yeah, last lap here. Dan DeSalle racing him a little bit, as is within his right. Alex Anderson 6 to go. As Matthew Lucas 2 to go.
Decent race for everybody. I mean, some people are not going to be happy. Some people are going to be very happy. And that's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, Julian Miller stayed off the podium for about a year, and there he goes, getting third for the first time in what feels like almost a year. Actually, no, it was actually a year. Year from today. Same for Cohen Bell getting his win. Julian Miller finally back on the podium. Well-deserved, too.
Yeah, good run for him. It's been a long time coming. He's had pace, but I think his car had a lot of miles on it and was kind of limiting his driving ability. And we've seen he can still put up a good show, beating Matthew Lucas, who's been a mainstay on the podium for a while, as he goes over the ramp on his last lap.
Slowing down a lot on the ramp. You can really see that his car losing a lot of power. Matthew still flipped over. He's not going to lose any time to Alex. I'd be shocked if he did, and if he lost the lead.
Yeah, he'll lose time, but he won't lose the spot probably if he can just get it home.
His lights are flickering. There he goes, getting 4th after qualifying 5th. Relative to qualifying, that is a much better run for Matthew, even though he was set to qualify 2nd on the alternate strategy.
Alex really slow over the ramp that time through, and looking like he's struggling to turn right as well. That's usually the right turns are the most indicative of a battery issue. He's got, about 23 laps on Dan DeSalle, so he should be okay, but he might have to take an emergency pit here.
Yeah, look how slow the car is. That's the 2nd emergency pit stop. Actually, he's pulling into the pits.
Good move there to try and make it in the pit lane.
Gosh, I haven't seen a single race from Alex where he hasn't had a battery issue.
He got a new car, too. That usually remedies those, but clearly it hasn't.
Part of me thinks he just doesn't charge his batteries. But I don't know. Maybe that car just guzzles those batteries like crazy. I mean, it would make sense considering how fast it is down the straight.
That leaves Dan DeSalle as the last car on track. He's got a 26 to go. We can analyze his performance. It looks very slick around the back end. Pretty much impossible to control.
It is. I do not expect him to do really anything good, to be honest. Not his fault whatsoever. He was literally against the wall to turn left, and he couldn't even turn left.
Yeah, I think if Cohen Bell or Graham DeSalle were driving that Porsche, they'd be running 6 right now as well. It just does not look controllable at all. Getting over the ramp, though. Just trying to ease along until Alex finishes.
Anyways, speaking about this race, so far this race has been a very good race. It's a little longer than expected, but that's what happens when these tires are like this. And that's Alex Anderson leaving the pits.
Yeah, he's got about 2.5 laps left, so we'll see how he does with the new battery. He's just got to bring it home right here.
He had a tiny bit of a penalization for walking while moving the car, as the official down there tells him that was possibly a penalization, so he stops him.
Ooh, straight into the wall upside down. That's one way to come out of the pit lane.
Good position from the helper, actually. I honestly think if you're going to help someone who flips on the ramp, putting them on the very top is actually a great position for them.
2 to go.
Sliding around the rear end. That's not what we saw with the previous set. Definitely chose the worst set for the end.
Yeah, interesting strategy. I mean, maybe the thought process is he's upside down again. Yeah, the thought process could be that, get a strong lead and then just hang on to the end. But with the battery issues he's had, I don't think that you can really blame the strategy too much. It just never was in the cards for him.
Yeah, I think even if he didn't have that battery issue on the first stint, I still think he wouldn't have had a huge gap to where he would have at least finished 4th. I really don't. On his final lap.
Conjecture. Yeah, trying to bring it home right here. Dan DeSalle being a trooper. and finishing the whole lap time.
Julian Miller throwing a pepperoni on Graham's head.
The whole race time, I mean to say. I apologize. Yeah, some friendly action down there in the pits. And here he comes. Final corner.
And there he goes, getting 5th, reversing too. Not the run that he wanted. Started on pole, first ever pole position, lost it. 2 emergency pit stops. That is, well, he took 3 times the amount of pits that the average driver didn't. So, not a great run from him. Not a great run from Dan. Dan not doing as well as he wanted to. But yeah, Cohen Bell with his first one in quite a while. Same with Julian Miller getting his first podium. This was a good race.
Yeah, this was a really interesting race as well with the varying strategies. We saw the 3 kind of charge to the pack, and to a lesser extent, Matthew Lucas passing Alex Anderson and closing in a little bit on Julian Miller over the course of the whole 30 laps. A lot of handling issues, which you'd expect with the drift tires, but that's been very fun to watch these guys battle their cars in a way that they haven't really had to do in the past.
Yeah, this has been a good race. Yeah. I'm here with P6 finisher Dan DeSalle. How'd you feel about your race?
I hated it. It was awful.
How come?
I wish I would have just stayed home and didn't pull all the way here.
What made it so bad?
Car handled so bad that I couldn't even drive in a straight line. It was just a waste of gas.
Do you think it'll handle better if you use actual rubber wheels and
I
not?
hope so. I think I'm going to feel better for the next race.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Disappointing day for Alex Anderson, getting P5 after qualifying on pole and was neck and neck for the lead until a mysterious battery error. Tell me what happened.
Just, batteries die. My car goes through it quickly, especially with the lights going with this new one. I haven't taken them out yet. And then just on top of that, just switching tires. Despite it seeming like it'd be just the same thing, just inverse, having the left and back right be, or left front, back right, be drift tires is incredibly harder than the opposite way. It makes it into a much more spinny mess than it would be with just the opposite, which that's what happened. So it was a good race either way.
How do you think you're going to do with the next races, knowing that you have capability to get pole and actually run up front?
I think I'm going to do well from here on out, especially with a new car. That's going to help a lot. It's going to just make everything be easier, and especially with a certain car kicker gone. May rest in peace.
Alex Anderson, disappointing day.
Third place for Julian Miller. Tell us about your qualifying. Third place for Julian Miller. Tell us about your race today.
Honestly, a truly incredible race. I'm very proud of my timing on this race. I came out on 3rd, finally got my rhythm back with this car. It helps a little bit. Everyone else felt like they were out of their element with the drift tires, but I know how to crash and recover, and that's all this race was crash and recover from every single person on the map. So honestly, I felt incredible this race. The 3rd place finish is good, even though only had 1 battery die today. Other than that, it was smooth sailing through in that new battery and was cooking. The car was going fast. Not as fast as Alex, though. Alex does love to speed through you. Honestly, I felt like it was an incredible finish today. I couldn't have asked for a better race.
Do you feel like you'll be able to put up some good results going forward with this new car now that you've gotten used to it a little bit?
I think so. I think understanding the real acceleration, the turn, everything better. It's all a learning thing, but I think I finally got a grasp on the beef machine.
Back on the podium, Julian Miller, 3rd place today. 2nd place for Graham DeSalle. Tell us about your race.
Well, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that race. I'm getting a new car. Like, the thing with cars is every car sounds the same, and then there's mine. You know when I'm backing up. And that's how you know it's mine. So my car is definitely not doing the greatest. Control-wise, not the best, but what do you expect? It's half drift, half tire. When I was told about the alternate strategy, I didn't really want to do it because number 1, I'm terrible on drifts. Number 2, I don't really care that much. But I wanted a podium, and I got a podium, and I'm very pleased with this race, and I'm very happy with how I did.
All right, 2nd place for Graham DeSalle. A good run.
I am here with P1 winner, Cohen Bell. First win in legit a year. How'd it feel? How does it feel?
It feels good. Yeah, I tried to be pretty low key about these things, but it feels great to finally win one. So, no complaints there. I just want to thank everybody that's made this possible. Fana, Pizza, Skittles, Seedles Industries. They've all put together a great effort to make this Mustang go fast, and it's all been worth it because we got to win. So, thank you to everybody that's made this possible.
So you chose the alternate strategy. Tell me exactly why you chose that alternate strategy.
I just got to thank the guy on top of the pit stand that made that call. The car felt okay. We started on the diagonals in the practice session, and having a little bit of experience on drift tires, I kind of figured this isn't that much better than having just straight drift tires, and so made the switch, and it worked out perfectly. So really happy. Thanks for the guys that made that call. Thanks to the pit crew for putting together a decent stop, pretty fast stop, and getting us back out there quick. I think we made up a little bit of time. There was a call to not change batteries, and just enough to get us to the end, but that's all we needed, and so that was a good call as well. I think it saved us maybe a lap and a half on the rest of the field. So,
knowing how the competition went today, how do you think it's going to handle when everybody's on the same compound in the future?
Probably be back to getting second places again, but we'll see. We finally broke the second place streak last race with the third. So maybe I'm out of that and I can start getting firsts and thirds. We'll see.
Amazing result for Cohen Bell.